Rules. There are many. First of all, in front of the pitcher's mound, which is the wood and the rubber, as I just mentioned in the previous part, your back foot, so if I'm a righty, let's say the pitcher's mound's right here, my left foot can cross in front of the mound. However, my right foot is not allowed to cross the plate, cross the mound, until the ball is out of my hand. Then I can swing around if I have that kind of let out. If you don't have that kind of release and your foot just stays back there, okay. Same thing with lefties. Your back foot cannot leave behind the mound until you have released the ball. A lot of pitchers have gotten in trouble for that before. For example, there was a Marlins pitcher who had a good year in 2016 or 2017. Problem was, whenever he would pitch, his foot would slide over the mound, and he would be like 5 inches off the mound with his back foot before the ball even left his hand. He was an illegal pitcher. He threw illegal pitches. So people had to watch out for him because they didn't know if he was ever going to get called on it. Of course, he's been called on it in the past, and he's in the minors now, I think, getting, reworking his stuff and learning how to do it again, but you have to abide by the rules. Now, if you can remember those rules, you're good, you're set, you're fantastic. So, now we've talked about the basic rule of the mound. Don't, another thing, the balk. If you've ever seen a pitcher either throw to first, second, or third base before, let's say you've done that, and all of a sudden, an umpire says, "That's a balk! That's a balk! Take your base!" Or, "Advance your bag!" What that means is, if you were trying to throw to a mound, you have to throw to a base. You have to completely step off the pitcher's mound. If you don't do that, you get called a balk. That advances the runner a base. It's not like a walk where you take first base, or if you're on first base, you go to second. You take a base, whichever one's in front of you. So if you're on first, you go to second, second go to third. Third gets to go to home. The batter doesn't, but the base runners do. The third gets to go to home, so you can balk in a run. And believe me, it's horribly embarrassing, and managers get infuriated by it. A lot of managers get tossed, get ejected from the game for arguing balks. A lot of pitchers do that. An example of this, Joe West once called a balk on a pitcher twice in one inning. Player got ejected, manager got ejected. It was a whole thing. Everyone was mad at Joe West for a few days after that. But that just kind of shows that, hey, you got to watch out for these things. You got to remember the rules. You got to be smart. And sometimes it's a complete accident. You're like, oh, forgot to step off the mound. My bad, I was in the moment. Okay, great. But it's just something you got to look out for. Now, types of pitching. There are many. There are so many pitches that exist, guys. I can't count them on my fingers, my toes, twice over. Okay, but there are a few core pitches that almost everyone should know how to throw or throws. First one, four-seam fastball. Here's a grip here. So what you're going to want to do with the four-seam fastball, take my glove off. Here's you're going to want to put your fingers on these laces right here, on these seams. Some people throw it like this, some people throw it like this. I throw mine like this. And then your bottom thumb is going to rest on the bottom of the seams. I like to throw like this, because then I can let it roll off my thumb easier. If you've ever seen Max Scherzer pitch, he holds his fastball like this, but keeps his thumb tucked. This usually generates a bit of an easier slide, and sometimes he can get some horizontal movement on the ball, which also generates strikeouts, swings and misses, yada yada. But this is how I throw mine. This is a pitch that everyone should know how to throw. Everyone should know how to throw a fastball, 4-seam fastball, or a 2-seam fastball. This is a 2-seamer. This is a 2-seamer. 4-seamer. Okay? Pretty similar. The difference between the 2-seamer is it tends to run away in on batters more, and it breaks more. It's a little bit of a breaking pitch, but it's still a fastball. Generally, pitchers throw, the fastball or the 2-seam fastball is a main pitch. Just the pitch that everyone knows how to throw. There's also different pitches. You got the curveball. I hold mine like this. Sometimes I put a little bit more here. And how you throw a curveball is normally you throw a fastball straight. And you finish straight, and generally the ball's going to go there. The curveball is different. If I were throwing my curveball, when I get here, I'm going to do this with my hand. What that's going to do is it's going to generate a spinning motion, and the ball's going to go forward like that and begin to tumble. This is a strikeout pitch. This is a caught-looking and a strikeout pitch. There are great curveballs that have ever existed. Some of the greatest curveballs of all time. Clayton Kershaw. Okay? One of the best curveballs I've ever seen. You had Nolan Ryan had a great curveball. But of course Nolan Ryan was known for the 108-mile-an-hour heat. You know what I mean? So there have been some awesome curveballs. Who else threw a really good curveball? Pedro Martinez. Nasty curveball. Absolutely dirty. He was a tiny man. He was like 5'8", 5'9", threw 97, 98 miles an hour. So, it doesn't matter how big or small you are, you can still throw hard. So, you got the curveball. You got your changeup. There are so many different changeups. It's not even, that's why I could use my fingers just to count the different types of changeups. Then you got your Vulcan change, your split change, which is all the way in here. Good luck throwing that on a regular basis. 4-seam change, 2-seam change, weird change. Some people throw a changeup like this. Now, if you're going to learn the changeup, I recommend holding it like this, because you can practice pronating. Pronating is a term that we use in baseball for the action that you use when you release and you pronate your wrist. You're pronating and you're creating spin and break on the wall. It's very important when learning how to throw the changeup. So if you want to practice releasing the changeup in your fingers, hold it like this. This is going to get you to learn how to throw the changeup easier. And then eventually you can move into holding it deeper in your hand like this, and this will get more control, and you can start throwing it harder. Different ways changeups have been thrown. Pedro Martinez, if you've never seen his changeup, one of the best changeups of all time. He pronated his wrist, all that fun stuff. However, there are some people, like Johnny Cueto, who's a starting pitcher. He started for the Royals, the Reds, the Giants. He threw his changeup straight. He threw a straight changeup. He threw it like this. He threw it like a fastball. But it broke somehow. That was because finish, and if you finish downward, you would get the changeup motion that he got. He struck out a lot of batters with it. So he had the changeup. Then, of course, you have one of the more famous, put-away pitches of all time. You got the slider. I tend to throw my slider a little like this, maybe like this. Generally, I throw it like this. One of the best sliders of all time, Randy Johnson, Chris Sale, both left-handers, but they have the best sliders. If you ever want to see what a slider really should do, you look at them. John Smoltz also had a great slider. But fun fact, he threw his slider like this. He had a 4-seam slider, but he still rotated and pulled down on the ball, and it broke more, and it broke later, and it got a lot of strikeouts. But he got Tommy Johns. Uh-oh. But, again, it's that, learning how to pitch healthy. If it doesn't, and this creates, especially this is going to generate a lot of stress on your wrist and your elbow. And that's just a few of the different types of pitches. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching this episode on pitching. If you enjoy, leave a thumbs up. Check me out on Instagram. Put it in the description. Link to this is going to be in my Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. I hope y'all love baseball as much as I do. And if I informed you even a little bit today, that means that it was a success and a W in my heart. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out. Take care.